What's good? It's your boy, Young JDR Sports, back with another NFL fantasy video. So make sure you guys do go drop a like, subscribe if you are new. We're at 80 subs. We're on the road to 100. And go subscribe to Young JDR. We're on the road to 5K over there. Alright, so in this video, we are going to be showing you, I'm going to be showing you guys the top 3 rookie wide receivers that you guys should be drafting in order. Alright, so from third to best. Alright, so make sure you guys do, like I said, drop a like for more fantasy videos. We've been doing a lot, but expect a lot of rookie videos coming up and second year players, mock drafts, players that you shouldn't draft, all types of fun stuff. So let's get into the video. Also, before I start, make sure you guys do comment which one of these receivers out of the 3 is your favorite and which one you want to draft. So starting with our third receiver on the list, it is Jaylen Waddle. He's ranked 48th on ESPN's projections. Alright, so he's the last receiver projected, but also it's my last receiver I'm projecting too. So out of the three, he's the last. But there's a lot of other receivers too, but I'm not going to mention them till the end, honorable mentions. But yeah, Jaylen Waddle, he is now on the Dolphins. Was in Alabama for 3 years. He got hurt in 2020, which was kind of a bummer. He hurt his ankle, messed up really bad, and then he finally got to play at the end of the season. We kind of tweaked it a little bit. So yeah, he had some injuries. I mean, he also did get drafted with the 6th pick, so they were still confident with drafting him. They did not draft Penny Sewell, so they obviously want him. And I think Jaylen Waddle will actually be the #1 starter, even though they drafted Will Fuller. If you're in a dynasty league, then Jaylen Waddle's value goes up, because Will Fuller's on a 1-year contract, but also Jaylen Waddle, I think, is just the #1, is going to be eventually at the end of the season, though. Will Fuller's suspended for the first game. They still have Devonta Parker and Preston Williams, but Jaylen Waddle is just, he's athletic. He has the talent for that. So let's go check his ADP, though, just so we got to see when he's drafted, right? So Jaylen Waddle is drafted at the 1.1. So yeah, the 11th round around there. So makes sense. 11th round for him. Yeah, it's a rookie. He's rated above Marquise Brown, Antonio Brown, just some guys right there. LaVisca, even, he's over. We can even go see down Jalen Reagor. Devonta Parker, he's the highest Miami wide receiver rated, I think, actually, besides Will Fuller, though. So yeah, there's a bunch of guys that he's rated over. So I definitely think he's the 3rd best, not the best, though. I think he's gonna have a good role, though, in this Miami's offense. He finished really decent, though. Good, obviously, in Alabama. 591 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he only played 6 games. And then you look at his other stats, pretty good. So let's go check out, though, our #2 receiver. So remember, this is my projections. You may have different thoughts, but I'm just going off what I see in the teams that they're in. The #2 wide receiver is Jamar Chase. I know Jamar Chase was drafted the 1st receiver out of all. He's drafted the 5th pick to the Cincinnati Bengals. But the hard thing is, he's 26 rated on ESPN. All right, he's rated over guys like Odell, Kenny Galladay, both of the Steelers receivers, Chase and Juju, Robbie Anderson. They're rating him really high up. And right above him is just Cortland Sutton, DJ Chark, and Chris Godwin. That's how close they're rating him. They're rating him close enough to Chris Godwin. I don't know. I think, yeah, he's a beast. He's one of the best. He's a great wide receiver prospect. Didn't play 2020. In 2019, he had 1,780 yards and 20 touchdowns. And then his freshman year, he had 23 receptions, 313 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So that is the season they won with Joe Burrow, and they had Justin Jefferson too. So that's insane that he did rack up that much, yards and touchdowns. But it was just a crazy year for that team. All right, so, and then his ADP. We love the average draft position. This is probably one of the most important things, when they're getting drafted. Around the 6.3. So he's getting drafted around the same as Cooper Kupp, guys. Cooper Kupp's the 63.4. Jamar Chase is the 63.4. I'm gonna have an image of it right here so you guys can see what I'm looking at, because you guys can't really see. He's getting drafted over guys like Cortland Sutton, DJ Chark, I guess a little bit, but Robbie Anderson all the way down there. Wow, it's just crazy how much they're overhyping him a little bit. But It's just some of these rookie wide receivers ball out, but this is the main reason too why I'm not saying he's first and why he's overrated in these projections. Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, what's going to happen to them? And Joe Mixon's going to be healthy again. You know what I mean? Their offensive line isn't good. How do you pass the ball if you don't have a good offensive line? You know what I mean? I don't think people thought about that. T. Higgins finished last year with 908 yards, 6 touchdowns, you know what I mean? And Joe Burrow just came off an injury too, so a long injury. So I don't know. And then Tyler Boyd actually had a huge jump up last year too, 841 yards and 4 touchdowns. So that was Tyler Boyd. And they're projecting Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins to both have more yards. So how do you have them have more yards and still project Jamar Chase to have 1,000 yards? I don't know. I just think that he's in a bad receiving corps. You know, I mean, he's going to be the #1 starter eventually, but just you put him with 2 decent to good receivers, like, you know what I mean, they're both young. You just can't do that. I don't know. I think, and with all the injuries and the offensive line, the running back, you know what I mean, I just don't think it's the best scenario. So do not overdraft him. And for the best wide receiver, he won the Heisman, Devonta Smith from Alabama. Last season, 2020. He's had more college experience. Jamar Chase barely had any college experience. He's just a great prospect, you know what I mean? The size and everything. Do you know the thing about Devonta Smith is he's only 6 foot, 170 pounds, but he was selected the 10th overall by the Eagles. I honestly love the position he got drafted to. Like, he went to the Eagles. First of all, he's a good football player. You know what I mean? He's a good football player. He had 1,800 yards last season, 23 touchdowns. The season before when Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs were playing, he still had 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. So it's crazy to see. But yeah, his size is a problem. But he got drafted to the Eagles with their only receivers, Jalen Reagor. Remember how I said about Jamar Chase in that position? Jamar Chase is on a stacked receiving corps and just a bunch of problems over there. The Eagles have a decent to solid O-line. A bunch of injuries on the O-line, but still, the O-line is solid enough. Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts, I think, is definitely not going to be the #1 passer, but I think Devonta Smith is going to get a lot of targets. That's what you want to have. The higher you are ranked is mostly from volume. If you're getting over a couple 100 targets or so, you know what I mean? You're going to get more receptions, you know what I mean? But if you're getting less than like 100 targets or something like that, you're just not going to have more fantasy points. You could have a bad receiver get more targets and get more receptions and more fantasy points than someone that's a great receiver and barely gets any targets. So I think he's in a perfect position. All right, so Devonta Smith is actually the 2nd rated wide receiver on ESPN, 35th. They're ranking him at right below T. Higgins and right above Will Fuller. All right, so, I mean, that makes sense, yeah, but I still think Devonta Smith is probably going to do a little bit better than some of these guys above him, maybe like T. Higgins. I think he should be above there. I just can't believe how far Jamar Chase is, you know what I mean? Devonta Smith he balled up in college. He's showed he's a good football player. You know what I mean? His size is the only problem, but honestly, from these receivers we've been seeing, the sizes they're very small. Look at CeeDee Lamb and like even Jerry Jeudy. They're all they're pretty small. But Jamar Chase is a big one, a big receiver. He's you know what I mean? He's just a wide receiver. He literally looks like a wide receiver, but it doesn't matter all about size. And we want to, we want to check. So, never mind. Devonta Smith is 39th ranked on ESPN, my bad. 39th ranked on ESPN, and his ADP, I meant, is the 9.2, so the 9th round. It makes sense, 9th round. It's pretty good, I guess you could say, for a wide receiver like him. I wouldn't be sold to get in him and put him in my lineup day 1. I'd definitely have him as a bench, but you know what I mean, he's definitely going to develop throughout the season. And Jalen Hurts, I think, is going to have a breakout year too, but I think he'll do a lot of running. But yeah, Devonta Smith, 39th ranked wide receiver on the rankings of projections and the ADP of the 9th round. I mean, Devonta Smith, guys, you got to draft him. I mean, you just got to focus. If you want a rookie wide receiver, please do not go into what was it? The 6th round. Please do not pick Jamar Chase over Cooper Kupp, guys. Cooper Kupp's on a great team right now. He got a new quarterback, and you're saying that you should draft Jamar Chase over Cooper. That's just crazy, ESPN. These guys who are drafting that Jamar Chase is falling where Cooper Kupp's at. I don't know. Jamar Chase, we're going to repeat it again. Joe Burrow was hurt last season. The offensive line is horrible. The tight end, they have really no tight end, so don't worry about that. The wide receiver core is good. You know what I mean? Just because they drafted him with the 5th overall doesn't mean he's going to be the #1. He's got to prove himself. He has to learn the playbook. That's one thing people forget. You don't just play. You have to learn the playbook, you know what I mean? But Devonta Smith is my number 1, Jamar Chase is my number 2, and Jaylen Waddle is my number 3. There's other receivers too. Obviously, these are the top 3 receivers in the draft. They got selected very early. There's other receivers like Rondell Moore, Kadarius Toney, Rashad Bateman that all have good upside, and there are other good rookie wide receivers. But yeah, we can do those. Some of those guys are underrated, you know what I mean? So maybe we can do that in another video, underrated players. But yeah, those are my 3 rookie wide receivers. Go consider drafting them. Drop a like on this video. Go down and comment which one of those rookie wide receivers was your favorite out of those 3. Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, and Jaylen Waddle. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 100. Go subscribe to Young JDR. Let's go on the road to 5K. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. I'll see you next time. Peace.